Right. So let's quickly run through. I don't think we get to do plenty past papers last day. Just one. So we had to do more, right? So we talked about propositions, having more than one proposition. Right? We talked about negation. And negation is what? The opposite, right? We talked about compound statements. Which one is this here? Right here. Conjunction is the one that upside down arrow, right? Huh? Oh, blocking all here. Right? We talked about conjunction, right? We talked about disjunction, which represent the or, right? We talked about setting up truth tables. How do you use the truth table method to show something logically equivalent? If the two what columns? If all the truth values, the columns are the same. By the
So
way,
for this table,
huh?
for this table, I have a question. And you see
Yeah.
this T there?
Which one?
The T, the second T.
The
Under the
last
P.
one?
No, under the first P column.
Yeah. T, yeah.
Right. So it have no wait, not that one. I think it's the third one. So I have true and false for the you know what? Let me think about it. Try to remember what I'm doing and I'll ask you.
All right. Right. So to prove logically equivalent, you have to make sure all the truth values here. You have to make sure all the truth values here. Right? You have to make sure all the truth values are the same, right? Give them it now. Yeah, we downstairs just for today because of the problem upstairs, right? Find a little space now. Who bag is that? Put the bags on top here. So it's here for the one. Yeah. That's I remember Raju from all nighters. Raju wasn't answering during class. Put them top here now.
Right, so I have it.
Right.
So the third one, no, yeah, the third one, right?
Yeah.
So you have where P and the V are there. So for the 30, no, actually the 40, but T where you have T and the F and the under the R column, right?
Yeah.
I think I had to send a picture because you know understand.
Yes, that's my picture. Right. Anyway, all here. And we looked at conditional. We looked at conditional, and after conditional, we looked at biconditional. We talked about tautology. A tautology is what? And a contradiction. And then we looked at Shavish. Right. Converse, interpositive, and converse is what? Right? Converse is where you flip the original statement. Inverse is what? Right? You negate both of them right where they are. And contrapositive is what? Right? You flip and negate. Okay? All right. And I told you, well, we're going to use all these laws today. Okay? Right. Before we start all those laws, let's do one more example to refresh ourselves, and then let's start. Kevin, I thought you're here. I didn't remove you. Everybody have these notes? Everybody have these notes, right? So you can look back at it, right? All right. Let's take a look at something happening. Oh, wait, and now see what going on here. Online, you all seen this screen?
Yeah, wait, very small.
It's real small. How about now?
Yeah.
All right, just hold on. I want to log out and log back in. I think I'm not seeing any writing. Give me one second there, right? Make Aiden, you mad? All right, let's start this one here. Online, you all seeing this? 2022. You all see that, Shabish? Yeah? You all see that? Okay, good. All right, try this here fast. Try this here fast, please. All right, sorry online. Right, I'm just trying to sort out the room so I could start back to write. All right, so help me out here, please. I'm killing. Right, first column. No, it's called false. False. Then true then. That's now start over. False then. Then. Right, so we negate everything here, right? Next one, negation of Q and P. So we're looking at this and this. False. True. False. Nice. Last one. So we're looking at P and this here. Sorry, P or that. What you'll get? True, true. Right. Are they logically equivalent? Huh? No, it's not the same. Right? All the truth values have to be identical. Hello? Huh? No, contradiction is all false. Right? All your answer is they are not logically equivalent. That's okay? All right. So today we want to start the slightly harder part of this, right? Where we're going to use the rules. All right, so let's take a look at all the algebra rules. I shared it with you already. You do have to write it down, right? All right, so watch here. Right, we don't, as you? All right, so watch here. We don't have to memorize these rules, right? Once you know the truth tables, you could kind of figure these rules out. Okay, let me give you a few examples. P and P is P. What does that say? That says this. If remember, P is a proposition, right? P could be true or P could be false. Correct? Yeah? So if we have true and true, then the answer is what? True. Right, Azaria? You're smiling with your master. Right? If we had false and false, what you'll get? False. So what does that mean? P and P will always give you. So once you know the truth table for conjunction, you don't have to you don't have to learn these off, right? What about P or P? P or P, whatever. If this is true or true, you'll get true. If you add false or false, you'll also get. So it means that P or P is, right? What about one a little bit harder? What about P and true? What will the answer be? Right? Because watch, when P is true, the answer is what? When P is false, the answer is. So therefore, this is dependent on this. That's okay? So P and true will always be. Right? All okay with that? What about P or true? Right. P or true is true. Because true or true, that's true. False or true is true. So it don't matter what this is, the answer is always true. That's okay? So you don't really have to learn it all. Okay? They will also award you full marks if you make the right substitution, but you don't remember the names of the laws. I'll be honest, I don't remember all the names of the laws. Right? But it's nice when you can put the names of the laws at the end. Okay? So it's important that you know the rules. There is one here that I want you to really understand. Right, this one here. See this one here, this distributive law. I want to show you how it works, right? you all remember if you have 2 multiplied by 4 plus 3, what you will get? And you will get 2 multiplied by 4 plus 2 multiplied by 3. Right, that's the distributive law. So if I give you P and Q or R is the same principle. Right, Shavish? You could watch it. Right? So it will be P and Q, multiplying this by this technically, or this P and R. That's okay? So that's a way to remember the law, right? Just like the way you would expand out this, it's the same way you'd expand out this. That's okay? So once you see it, hopefully you don't have to go back to the rules and do it. All right? And one that is not so familiar is this, De Morgan's law. If you negate P or Q, it's real simple. You will negate P, you will negate Q, and the opposite of the disjunction is the conjunction. That's okay? That's called the De Morgan's law. Are you okay with that? Right? So you have to learn all the rules, but it's much easier if you learn the table, right? And you can figure out everything. Right? There's only 2 that don't really make sense, that don't really come from the laws, is these absorptive laws. Right? So you had to learn those all. Right? P and anything is P, P or anything is P. That's okay? So you had to kind of learn that law. Right? We could prove it, but we wouldn't do that now. Right. So close your eyes here. Let's take a look at this. Right? We have to prove that the negation of P and the negation of Q is equivalent to P and Q. So I want to show you how to use these laws. Let me make sure this is right. One error. All right, anyway, let's hope for the best, right? Right, so let's start. Negation of P and Q. So let's start with the left-hand side. Why that feeling wrong? Hold on, Yeah, this should be O. Huh? What's that? Yeah, it should be O. So the problem is I don't have the feature again where I could just remove the writing. All right, huh? I don't know, zoom upgrade and remove that. That's the most useful thing is that. Anyway, so what we're doing here, first thing first, take the left-hand side, Ranju. Right? And we write the left-hand side. Right? So if you look at the right-hand side, there is no negation, right? And there's no brackets. You're seeing that? So what do? Remove the bracket. So the law is De Morgan's law, right? So we're going to negate the negation of P. What's the negation of conjunction, Shivesh? If we negate this, what you'll get? Huh? Disjunction. And then you have the double negation of Q. When you double negate, what you'll get? Right, they cancel off. The answer is P or Q, and you prove it. Are you okay with that? That's the way the rules work, right? Copy it down. I did a easy one, so I'm going to give you a hard one, right? You know how it is working. You know how it is working. You know how it is working. I give you the easy ones, and I do the easy ones, you do the hard ones. Copy it down. Right? The only bad / good news is that this never really came before in past papers, so I used this book to get some from. Huh? Nah, this is Tulsi. Huh? Florid table, yeah. Never came where they asked you to do algebra. But it's on your syllabus, so you had to be able to do it. Anybody writing? Well, this in your handout, right? Online? Are you okay there? All of these are proved, right? Eden, pay attention, Eden. Genesis, are you okay there?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Number one. Number one, we have to make that left-hand side equal to the right-hand side. Okay? So the first thing that we have to try to do, right, is just put it in a more familiar form. So I want to help you just with one line. So you can't say I didn't help you, right? So I just switching it using commutative law, negation of P and P or Q. I want you to take it from there. Check and see which law you think you're going to apply here next. Distributive, very good. Use it distribute, huh? So I had to be face to face. I see. The online thing to work out. Right? Go ahead. Apply distributive law. And then simplify it out. I give you a few minutes to try it, right? You can actually use your phone here and watch your rules, right? You're allowed to use your phone today. Right, everybody name here? All the names here? Everybody name here? Who here not on the WhatsApp group? What's your name again? Timothy? Timothy, right, Timothy. Hey, all the done for face to face, obviously, or the face to face. Oh, gosh. Janessa put it first, and everybody else follow from Janessa. Huh? Janessa for face to face. I will then follow you, Janessa. Take your time. If you get it, message QED. If you get it, right? Yeah, you got it? Right there. It's somewhere in your handout, yeah. Right, so if you use the distributive law, you will get the negation of P and P, or the negation of P and Q, right? Look at your answer. If you look at your answer, somehow or the other, this has to disappear, correct? Right? What is the negation of P and P? False. That's always false, right? Right? We're using truth values, so we're not using ones and zeros, right? Or the negation of P and Q. That's okay? This here is false, right? And lastly, what is false or anything? Anything, right? False, like if you look at the rules, P or false is P. Okay? This whole thing here is P. Okay? So we'll end up with negation of P and Q. And you're done. That's it there. Amanda, you okay? Amanda, did you? Right? Online, are you okay there? Stacy, yeah, live cell.
Yes, sir.
All right, nice. Let's go again. One more easy one, right? Right, some of you are doing 2 months at a time. 3 at a time. So I'll add it to the LMS and I can start looking at the videos for the video, right? If you get in trouble, like when you come early instead of alignment with them, you can come upstairs and that's a good idea. Shabish instead of going inside the animal. Have the camera door. Check.
Take the camera, so you actually get the camera, so we're playing cards.
I told you I don't play cards.
I was imagining shocked.
All right, hurry up. Try this one online if you get it. Message QED. Right, Stacey-Ann have a QED, right? Tavisha, QED. Ariane, boy, you ain't gonna help today. What's school to Tavisha going? And you going Shiva, boy. You'll get? Azaria, you get it? What's school you going to me? Don't want to. Amanda gets. Shabish, are you done? Shabish, every video I listen to, I'll be calling you. Right, I'll be calling you. Hurry up now. Adriana, get you? I was waiting on Shabish, right? That fella is Shabish. Right, Shabish, what the law going to use? Huh? Right, tell me what to do. I'll get P and the negation of P. That is distributive law. Or, all right, P and Q, we multiply this by this, right? It's like multiplying. What's the next step? What's the next step? Shabish, what's the next step? You didn't get the answers yet, Shabish? Shabish, it's just like the last one. Yeah? First one is false. And false or anything is what? Anything. Shabish, it's just like the last one. Watch. Let's go again. Next one. Any questions online? Emily, are you okay there? Samira, you getting through? Yeah, okay. Last easy one. Last easy one here. Actually, it's so easy, it can fit in a little space underneath. No, no, real easy. It's like one line long. Oh, by the way, what do these 3 lines mean? And what does that mean? Right, but what's the difference between 3 lines and 2 lines? Equivalent, you can't solve. Equal, you can solve, right? Right? Equal allows you to apply algebra, right? Equivalent, you can't. Right. Try this one here. It's like 1 line long, right? 2 lines probably. 2 lines long. Finish? Antonio, let me see what you have done, Antonio. By the way, applied math people, you're doing this today, yeah? The same thing. I can just make a watch back this video. That's a good idea. I have to run back today. All right, you all done? What the law you apply? De Morgan's, right? So you'll get the negation of P or the double negation of Q, which simplifies to the negation of P or Q. That's it, QED. Let's go a little bit harder now. Any questions online? Try this, please. What? What going on there? Wait, something happened there. It's in glitching too. All glitching. That means I can't.
Still, why let's put download like with notes or something and use that for something. Because what usually like.
Online, what you all seeing? What you all seeing?
So what you mean, the screen?
Yeah, on the screen, you all seeing black, right? Eh?
Yeah, you
You all
see
seeing
black.
this?
Yeah.
I feel like the screen stick or something. Luckily, I'll take it off, right? Do that, please. Yeah, same queue, yeah. It's have errors sometimes. Simplify it properly. Sometimes it have errors, right? As well as do them over. How far I reach? Yes. Okay, we have 2 minutes again. See how far I can reach.
Some bull, but at least show me the love. What is this? Well, it's really not the correct amount.
Right, any go there? Yeah, except all, yeah? All right, let's see how this one went. Let's see if we got any online. Oh yeah, we get some QEDs online, man. Left hand side. So we have basically we had to get rid of everything except for this Q on the right side here, right? So that is P and the negation of P or Q, right? If we expand inside there, we'll get P and the negation of P. So using distributive law in here, or P and the Q. Right? P and the negation of Q, that will always be false. That will always be false. So it's false, false, or P and Q. Right? False or anything is what? So we end up with P and Q or Q. And now we have the what? What is called this law? The absorptive law, right? That's the absorptive law. Check it and see. Absorption law, all right. It's absorptive, right? And the answer is Q. That's okay? Let's go again. Let's try next one. So that's the last easy one probably. Yeah, I wouldn't say that was the last one. Let's go again. Ready? Somebody writes in. Copy down quick if you miss it. Finish? You know what it is, right? What's that, Christopher? I expanded it out and proved it. Oh, you expand out the whole. Well, it have different techniques, but normally these solutions are like 5-6 lines. Nothing wrong with that. It took two, right? So you see, that's too much for like 3 or 4 months. All right, let's go again. Anybody writing? Let's go again. Right, did it clear this time? Yeah. Clear? So try this one, the negation of P and Q. The negation of P or Q. Right, and it have one more somewhere where I guess. I get some charge. Take your time. Remember, you can only use distributive law if here and here is the same. Huh? Okay, these two things have to be identical and these two symbols have to be identical. Well, probably. Is Amelia there? Amelia, who was in the book? Huh? Why not? Proof. That's proof. Why did you put it in ChatGPT? You wouldn't give it? Might give it. Oh, you have it? Try it and see now. You have it? Yeah. Proof correct? What are you talking about, boy? So I can't sleep now.
Why you wake up?
I can't sleep now. For the stain power apply?
Yeah.
Paul going home.
Stay, we will stay, I will stay.
Not over, you stay there, that's all.
They all stay.
Right, let me see if we get any QEDs online. No QEDs as yet. Try it, Brittany. Yeah, try it. Huh? You can get more. And more to come. Oh yeah, one more after this, and then I want to just show you some axioms and things, some rules that we should know, right? What's the first rule you use, Ariane? Huh? We can't use distributive as yet. We have to use something before that. We had to use De Morgan's law, right? We had to use De Morgan's, right? So you'll get negation of P or negation of Q and negation of P or Q. What we gonna do now? We can't use, could we use the what? The reverse, right? Yeah. The reverse, like how you expand it, do the reverse. Right? To be sure, finish already. Good. So we're going to do the reverse of the distributive law. So instead of expanding, you kind of factorize it in a way. Okay? Right? So we kind of factorize it. Where? For the coming Wednesday?
Just to see the side laws.
Until the last Saturday? The last Saturday. I sure the last Saturday. Yeah? But the Perry man lost boy. Yeah, I think Fatiman's up. Right, so the reverse is what? The reverse is what? Negation of P, right? They both have negation of P. What do I write next? Or and. Not P or, open brackets. Sorry, yeah. Not Q and Q. Check it and see. Expand this, you're supposed to get this. Expand this, you'll get this. Right, Emily, are you okay there? Naisha, again, sure. So you're going in reverse, right? You're doing the expansion in reverse. Okay? What's the negation of Q and Q, Kalia? What's the negation of Q and Q? False, nice. So negation of P or false. What's the negation of P or false? Negation of P. Are we done? We are there. That's okay? We are there. QED is Latin for was able to, yeah, able to do. Right, able to show something like that. All right, now we can sleep now. Your class will start us now. How come in this class anyway? We have some more rooms for you. How come in this class? All of a sudden, two us had come to this class. All right, last one. Huh? That's not even happening. Actually, I think it's the one with the error. Here, what to do? The one with the error, boy. Antonio. Yeah, we applied, what's that? I'm gonna see if there's one with the error now. Try it in the meantime, right? Go ahead and do it. Take your left hand side and simplify it out. Hello?
No.
Yeah, wait. Huh? I'm gonna show you changing clothes on second. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I'm come on, do it. Here, I'll take up the chest. Keep doing work. You're taking a break now. Right. Try this last one there. Hurry up. It's just like the last one. Hurry up. Shavish, it's like just like the last one. Just expand quick. Seen it? Right. And again, some answers from Emily and Genesis. Kevin, you all getting through? Tyra? Oh, okay. I now see Genesis. All right. So let's see. You'll get the negation of P or Q. And the negation of P or the negation of Q. When you factor it out, you're good to go. You'll get Q and the negation of Q. Q and the negation of Q is false, right? False or anything is anything. All right? Copy it down and let's take a look at this now. Any questions online? Right, so that brings us to the end of that part of we're not done with the packing up for. That's the last question. We still have something else to look at. Well, we have 8 minutes to be exact. All right. The next thing we're moving on to, watch it earlier. The next thing we're moving on to is something called the field axioms, right? So we have to go back and use rules that we're familiar with, right? So we know the rules, but I'm just going to show you using set notation and think how to apply them. All right. So for example, right, I'll explain closed and thing later on, right? So right. So what you're seeing here, all these symbols. You have to learn these mathematical symbols. I'll give you the listing for all of them, right? Right. So first thing first, if you look at commutativity, you'll recognize that. Right. In mathematics, there are only two operations, addition and multiplication. Subtraction is the inverse of addition. Division is the inverse of multiplication. So there are only two rules that you really have to learn, addition and multiplication. All right. So the first rule there is commutativity. You should know that already. I'm going to send you these notes. You don't have to write it. I'll send you these notes, right? We'll practice everything next week, right? So x plus y is the same as y plus x. We know that already. X multiplied by y is the same as y by x. Associative, we technically just use it, right? If I were to, if somebody gave me x plus y plus z, I can add the x and y, or I can add the y and z, and I'll get the same answer. Multiplication, same concept. You all seen that there? If you have x, y, z, and you're multiplying, you can multiply x by y, then by z, or y by z, and then x. Right, Azaria? In 10 minutes, you can message it. Oh, okay. Distributive, technically, we just did distributive, right? X by y plus x by z. That's okay? This may be new, but if you remember in the math crash course, we did this. CSEC maths, right? Every operation has an identity, right? Identity means when you add it to that value, you'll get back the original value. So x plus 0 will give you x. 0 is called the additive identity, right? What is the multiplicative identity? 1, right? Very good. Right? So the multiplicative identity is 1. Are you okay with that? Right? So you see this here? This rule is important. I can't write, right? But I don't know what happened there. A star E is equal to A. That is the rule to find the identity element, right? A by any function by E, once it gives you A, that E is the what? Identity element, right? So we're going to use a matrix method next day to work out these things, right? What is the additive inverse? Shivish, what is the additive inverse? Shivish, pay attention, right? You need to pay as much attention as possible, right? Right? A plus minus A is 0. So it means that the additive inverse is negative A. Multiplicative inverse is what? 1 on A. That's a mistake. That should be multiplied. A multiplied by 1 on A. All right? What you all recognize about the additive inverse? Something else. Huh? What you getting? Which is the identity. So you would recognize here that there's a rule. What's your rule? A by B, B by A, giving you E, then B is the inverse. So whenever you're getting the identity, that term is the inverse. All right? Next day, we're going to focus on this matrices here. I'm not rushing it down now, right? Next day, we're going to do this. And so I want you to read up on PMIs and thing, right? PMI. We'll read up on it and you'll find out. Right? I'll send you these notes next day, right? Or I'll send you now. I'll send you one time.